Nigerian's Lady of Songs, activist journalist Onyeka has said the Igbo people will make no apologies for going to war with Nigeria. As according to her, the Biafra was a war brought on them and they had to fight in self-defense. Onyeka, who spoke on Monday in Lagos at the Never Again conference organized by Onwenu, an Igbo socio-cultural group, to mark 50 years since the end of the Biafra War in 1970. Also recall how her widowed mother's property was seized in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, after the war. She said the Biafra is a very sensitive and painful matter that had to be addressed. This is a subject matter that is very close to our hearts. She said, it is very personal to very many of us, very sensitive matter, very painful matter indeed. And yes, some of us have lived with some bitterness, and we make no apologies about that. We were a people in war, led into war, not by our own wishes or design, but in self-defense. No apologies to Nigeria, no apologies to the world. But here we are. I was born and raised in Port Harcourt. My father, Onwenu, was the first Arunzudogo man in the Federal House, and he was representing Port Harcourt constituency. He was the principal of Inetuna High School. He was a brilliant man, but he died too early. I am from Abia State. Since I am an Aro daughter, I am from Imo State, Arunduzogo, and I am also from Anambra, where my mother comes from. I can go there and live, and nobody can stop me. I am from Lagos State. I married a Yoruba man. I have 2 Yoruba children. Onyeka said she fought the Biafra War and recalled many children and aged people dying in her care. She regretted that the war has not yet ended and warned those still fighting the Igbo to be careful. I fought the war as a young girl between 14 and 17 years, and I lost many relatives. I carried babies who died in my hands. I treated old people who took days to die. People were dying of hunger. Even our soldiers were dying out of hunger, but thank God we survived. When my father died at 40, he was a politician and also a principal, but he did not have much money in those days. You had to keep your day job, even if you were a member of the House of Representatives. Yes, my mother, an Anambra woman, was a trader. She was richer than my dad. So my dad would borrow money from her to buy land, and he never paid back. You know how it is with husband and wife. At the end of the war, I could not go back to Port Harcourt. My home was abandoned property. Those of you who came from Port Harcourt, you know the story. The home that a widow, my father, had only laid the foundation when he died in an accident. The building that a widow built was seized as an abandoned property. And living just adjacent to us, an hospital road where the Ikokus, in fact, I thought we were related because every family in Port Harcourt was together. You don't care where anyone came from or who they were, whether you were from Port Harcourt or not. Every parent had the right to reprimed a child he or she saw misbehaving. Port Harcourt was a beautiful town, but we cannot go back to it. So for me, the Civil War never ended. It is still going on. My poor mother went back to Port Harcourt to claim her property, and she was beaten into a coma by people whom she had helped all her life, people she had helped to send to school because she is an Igbo woman, and now Port Harcourt belongs to another group of people. They forgot the sacrifice that the Igbos made. It is still going on. No apologies have ever been made about that. The road that is now referred to as Harold Winston Road used to be Dike Onwenu Road. That is on account of the sacrifice that the Onwenus, the Ikokus, and the rest made in building up Port Harcourt. Here I am. I traveled outside thanks to my sister who was at Harvard at the time, but we still came back to develop Nigeria. I have tried with the little talent that God has given me to use it to the betterment of my society and my country. But if I were a Yoruba or a Hausa woman, I would probably have had more patronage, more help, and more support than I have got by myself effort to raise this country up. But I am not asking anybody for anything. I put myself through school. My widowed mother did her best. I was working 2 jobs in America to put myself through school. I did not want to take the Nigerian scholarship because they were giving it to everybody, those who deserve it and those who don't. And many of them were not even in school. I am angry at Nigeria. I am angry at this government, which seems to be letting us down. I am angry at us as people. I am angry at my people in the Igbo, because he who is rejected does not reject himself. Stop complaining and do it yourself. We have always been able to do that. How did we build Imo Airport? Nobody built for us. We spent many years raising money. I was traveling all over the country to do free concerts to raise money for Imo Airport. That is who we have been. And I remember that in those days, if the Igbo man starts union decide that it is very good, it is for everybody, he follows the line and gets it done, she said. Mommy Onyeka, you spoke nothing but the everlasting truth. The war which was brought to us and forced to partake in it, whether we like it or not, without option, and in self-defense, with struggles for our life, is yet over. Until it is over, Biafra must be set free. Okay, guys.